I said yes to life for 1 month, and here's what happened. Now let's bring this back. I didn't sit myself down and say, oh, I'm going to say yes for a month and just see where life takes me. This wasn't a planned video. Now before I explain any more, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. It is completely free. It really helps me out. I'm trying to grow this channel this year, so come on. Please hit those 2 buttons down below. I know you're not doing it, but please do it. At least the like button. That really does nothing for you. And if you like my videos, you know, you can also hit the bell button to let you know when I post every single Wednesday and vlogs on the weekend. But either way, self-promo aside, let's get into how this all started. I just all of a sudden slowly started saying yes to more things and deciding to be more open and do things more last minute and open myself up to experiences. And then all of a sudden I realized that I did it for a whole entire month, where I said yes to things that I would most likely normally find an excuse not to do. I'm too busy, I have work, I won't like it, what about this, what about that? Just making excuses instead of just experiencing things. And it started off slow. I didn't jump into the deep end of the pool, and that's how it all started. It started with little things. Like before this month even started, I started saying yes to things that I've been wanting to do for the longest time in my apartment. So I started saying yes to projects. I started being like, yes, you could do that project. Yes, you could do that project. And I did way too many projects in a short period of time. And then it moved to just like other things in other realms. So I bought myself flowers because, let's be honest, I am single. I've been single for a while, and I was just kind of like, I don't want to be in that mode where I feel like I have to depend on someone else for something that I wanted to do. So I bought myself flowers, and that's like a simple, small things that I said yes to, but it's those little things that led to the bigger things and the bigger experiences. And one of those was actually an unexpected adventure. So one of my friends asked me last minute if I wanted to go to this like bonfire thing that like I was allowed to like tag along on. And I said sure, not really knowing what I was getting myself into. So I drive to their place, park at their place, and we Uber to this beach where you're allowed to have fires. And I, again, didn't know much about it. All I knew was like a bonfire with some of his friends type of thing. And what it actually was a meetup for a running group. And it was a much bigger get-together than just like a little bonfire. But first we show up and we're at the wrong lifeguard stand. And it's this random group of people like, are you guys the club? And they're like, no, we're not, but like you're welcome to come and stay and hang out with us. And we almost considered it for a little while because we realized we were pretty far from the lifeguard stand that had the actual party. And at this point we were already dropped off by the Uber. There's already a bunch of traffic, so we definitely have to walk. And it's a good probably 30-minute walk from there. And so we almost stayed there, and those people were super nice, but we're like, no, let's walk, let's do it. And again, at this point, I found out that like, oh, there might be like a DJ or like a bounce house or something. Like, oh, this is a lot bigger than I thought I was signing up for last minute. And then we get there, and there is straight up a giant, like full-size kids bouncy house on the beach, which a bunch of drunk people are just bouncing on and having the time of their lives, like adults being kids. And there is a DJ booth and speakers and a bunch of people dancing on the beach. Let's just say it was more than I expected, but in all the right ways. And this is an experience I would have missed out on, most likely because I almost said yes. Almost said yes. I almost said no. And technically I did say no, and then I changed my mind and said yes. I was like, no, let's say yes to more things in life. And that's how it kind of started happening more throughout the month. And I am so glad I did because it was so much fun. So in addition to the fact that there was a bounce house, there was a DJ, there was music, people dancing on the beach, they also had fire dancers. Yes, you heard me right. They pay people to perform and dance and like flip fire around, which was so cool to experience and see on the beach, kind of like more in the moment instead of like when you go to like a restaurant where you know they're gonna have a dinner show. It wasn't like that because I didn't know what was coming. Like the night was just filled with so many cool, amazing opportunities and adventures. And so in addition to the fire dancers performing, there was also a guy who was not a performer. He actually works at a bar and he blows fire at that bar occasionally, just like taking alcohol, blowing it out, and like putting it on fire. But instead of with alcohol this time, there's like tiki torches all throughout the beach. So he took a kerosene and put it in his mouth and blew kerosene. It looked really cool, but I imagine that tasted horrible. And the guy was super nice. We actually follow each other on Instagram now, but not the point. Either way, that was another cool experience. And then they ended up not being able to get a fire pits because all of them were taken before they got there, and so they ended up digging a pit in the sand, and I got to cook marshmallows. And I have not cooked marshmallows in so long. I actually probably don't think I've cooked marshmallows really that much in California. I've done it more on the East Coast when I go like camping, or my parents have like a bonfire and stuff like that, but I haven't experienced it as much here. So overall, that was an amazing, fun night, and I actually danced and drank, and I don't normally even dance when I drink. So me being that free and open has a lot to do with the idea of me just saying yes to more things. And then I guess kind of the polar opposite of what I just told you is something else I said yes to, which was owning doing things alone. I have always done things alone throughout the years just because there's certain things I want to do that like maybe my friends aren't into, or they're not available in the moment because my schedule's more flexible than there is, and I just want to go do it and experience it. But I wasn't owning it. I was kind of just like doing it, but not per se owning the fact that I was doing it by myself. Kind of like, I wish I was doing it with someone else, but I'm doing it by myself type of thing. But instead of that, I kind of flipped the mindset and be like, I am choosing to do this alone. I don't have to do this alone. I could wait for someone else to do it or meet someone that wants to do it type of thing. And instead of that, I'm like, no, own it. You enjoy doing certain things by yourself. So like, I love going to Disneyland by myself, which is probably the weirdest thing to admit to people, because whenever I say I'm going to Disneyland, they're like, who are you going with? And I'm like, me, myself, and I. Like, I thought of the idea of like meeting up with meetup groups. Originally I got my pass with a friend, and either way, I actually don't like it as much. I don't like going to Disneyland with other people as much as I like going by myself. Like, yeah, someday I want to have a family and go to Disneyland together, but other than that, I like doing it by myself. But now I own it. I love the fact that I go by myself. I love doing other things by myself, and instead of just being in that mindset of just kind of like a toxic mindset, I'm owning it. I'm saying yes to the fact that I want to do this stuff by myself, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing embarrassing about it. Like, I don't have to think about what other people are thinking about. I'm just enjoying doing it by myself. And then another thing I said yes to for myself, all selfishly, is committing to a new career opportunity. So I have my full-time job that I do right now, and I love it, but there's not much career growth in it. And so I ended up taking an opportunity for a new job. It is all commission based. I had to get a license. I studied my butt off, and I passed the license test. I said yes to myself. I said yes to this opportunity. I passed the test. I'm going to be doing it. And even though some of it's a little bit out of my control, I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know the time commitment, and it's commission based, so there's potential of making no money at it. I'm still doing it because I see the opportunity there, and I'm just taking a risk and saying yes to opportunities that life are throwing me, even if I don't know everything that's gonna happen. And in the realm of doing things out of my comfort zone, out of my norm, I also went jet skiing, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal because like, oh, jet skiing, cool. But I am actually terrified of kayaks and little boats. I don't know why. I grew up in the water. My dad had a boat when I was a kid. I love swimming. I love being in water. I love being next to water. I love being on cruises. But for some reason, little crafts terrify me. And I have never been on a jet ski because of that fact that I thought I would hate it. But I found out it was like the concept of something else that I am terrified of. I am terrified of bicycles. I just hate bicycles. They terrify me. They scare me. But I love motorcycles. So it seems weird. Like, if you love motorcycles, why would you hate bicycles? And if you hate bicycles, why would you love motorcycles? It was the same thing for jet skis. I still go on kayaks and I enjoy them in a way, but they terrify me like bicycles do. But jet skis were like a motorcycle on the water, and it was so much fun, and it was such a last minute thing. Literally, my friend bought 2 jet skis, texted me, and was like, I just like figured out these new jet skis. Do you want to go right now? Like, I'm by your place. And he picked me up from a dock, and we took out a jet ski. in the middle of a work day, I just took a break and went jet skiing, and it was so much fun. It was definitely the motorcycle to bicycle concept, and I enjoyed it, and this is something I might have never tried in my life if I didn't just say yes to an opportunity that came about. And not because it's like I could go jet skiing somewhere else, I could go rent them somewhere, do it on vacation or something like that, but I wasn't likely to do that because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. So this was an opportunity to go on jet skis for free and try them out and see what it was like, and do it with someone that I'm pretty comfortable with, and not like an instructor or in a on vacation in somewhere I'm unfamiliar. And in addition to that, come on, free jet ski ride. So much fun. So much better than paying like $60 to go rent one type of thing. And also I was a little bit nervous about the idea because I'm like, what if I hate it? What if I'm terrified? And what if I, ruin it for the other person that's inviting me along type of thing? But it wasn't that case at all. And it was so cool to be able to see everything that I see because we jet skied around where I live. So I saw everything I normally saw from land, from the water, and it was so much fun. And it was just, I don't know how to describe it other than just all these things were so enjoyable, and even if they didn't work out exactly right, they were still so much fun to do, and I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't doing this saying yes to more things in life. And on the jet skis, we also went like further out into the ocean, and some of the waves are pretty big, and I was like, it's a new thing for me, but it wasn't terrifying. It was like the motorcycle where it's just like, I enjoy it so much. And if you don't ride motorcycles, it's hard to describe to someone how enjoyable and how that feels. Like you feel a different way, and that's how I felt on jet ski. I felt a different way. And throughout this whole entire month, I've never felt so alive and so happy and so just living in the moment type of thing, yet still having my control. And I also learned to be able to do all this and keep up with all this, you also have to do all of your commitments ahead of time. I am a procrastinator, which is why I probably haven't done this sooner or can't do this on a regular basis if I keep up with my procrastinations. Because sometimes I will wait until very last minute to do things that are very important. So that means I can't say yes to a last minute fun opportunity because I need to do this last minute thing that I should have probably done days ago ahead of time. So now I'm learning that if I do my commitments, like job commitments, creative commitments for YouTube, for Instagram, all that type of stuff, if I do that stuff ahead of time, then I'm able to say yes to opportunities that come about, because opportunities do not come on a schedule. They do not tell you, hey, I'm going to throw an opportunity to you on Friday at 12 p.m. They're not going to tell you that. An opportunity is going to come about in the last minute that are probably going to be a better opportunity than anything planned will be. It's those things that come up that you want to be able to say yes to, but you won't because you have other commitments. But if you do your other commitments ahead of time, then you can say yes to these opportunities. And then the other night, I ended up saying yes to going to this random speakeasy thing that was going to have an event. So straight up walking through a refrigerator into a bar in the back, which was such a gorgeous bar, ended up being the wrong night for the event. They sent out a wrong information thing, and it was actually 2 weeks from them. So I can't say that saying yes to everything has per se worked out to be a cool bonfire on the beach with fire dancers. Not everything worked out to be that perfect. But I'm still glad I went because, one, it was a really cool speakeasy back room type vibe, and it was beautiful. I had a drink, I had fun, I was with my friend, it was great. It wasn't what I expected, it didn't go bigger than expected, so it's not like saying yes will lead to $1 million type of thing, but it still was a fun opportunity. Even though it didn't work out how I expected it to work out, I'm still glad I said yes to it. So I think throughout this experience, I've learned it's less about the fact that if you say yes to life, it will always work out and you'll have all these amazing, cool opportunities. It's more of the fact that you're not going to unless you say yes. It's not always going to work out. It's not always going to be the best thing in the whole entire world or better, but it's also going to be an automatic no experience. You're not going to have any fun if you're always saying no to things, or you're always trying to be in control or feel like you have to plan everything out. Then you're not going to experience those things. It's an automatic, guaranteed no, whereas if you say yes, there's a chance, there's an opportunity, there's just that ounce of possibility. An ounce of possibility that I didn't have before because I wasn't saying yes to these opportunities. And overall, I would say saying yes for a month led to some of the most fun opportunities, led to doing more things than I usually do in a month's of given time. So it could be 4 months and I would experience maybe one of the things that I experienced in this given month. And it flew by yet felt super long. It almost felt like I had more time. It felt like this month I did so much more than I thought was humanly possible, yet I still kept up with my work. I was still able to do things. I wasn't really falling behind. Like, I was definitely learning to balance everything, but I wasn't falling behind, and I still did so many more things than I thought you could fit in a given month. So it makes me excited for what this summer could be and what these coming years can be if I just make the most of them and fill them with so many more memories and first times and experiences and possibilities of things going in so many different ways. It's just, I learned that I have to give up control a little bit. I have to plan a little bit less and live in the moment a little bit more, yet still keep up with my future goals and what I want in life. But I think I'm not going to get what I want in life unless I'm open to more opportunities. And I will show you guys more of the things I experience and do in vlogs, because I post those almost every single weekend. So feel free to check them out. But I post new videos every single Wednesday, helping you figure out adulting. Well, I'm attempting to figure it out myself. So please, please, please hit the like and subscribe button down below to watch more of my videos and join me on my journey. And I hope that you decide to maybe just for a month, for a week, just try saying yes to things you wouldn't normally say yes to. Give up control a little bit and see where life takes you. Maybe you'll be on a party on the beach or going jet skiing